What's going on, everybody? Out here in the shop again tonight. Been slacking on that. We'll get there in just a minute. Got my old wood burner in here. Thank you, Bob, for helping me get that in here with a tractor. I'm gonna try to get that thing cut up and possibly have a welding table made out of it. That would help me tremendously. I don't really have a good welding table. So yesterday, posted a little short, said Smokey's back. And ta-da! I figured it would be a little fun story time on who and what Smokey was. And there's just kind of a lot that goes into it, and it's, I don't know, kind of a neat little story to me. But back when I started working at the plant down here in town, I had a guy by the name of Todd Littlepage, little bitty guy. And the best way to describe Todd Littlepage is a Barney Fife Yosemite Sam. He was an itty bitty little guy. I mean, he wasn't no bigger than a beanpole, and just not a big guy. But he took me under his wing, I guess. When I hired in, I don't think that I was liked very much, because I was a kid off the streets, come in as a tech, working on machinery and things. And I guess he kind of took to me for whatever reason. He just could tell that I had a dash of common sense and I wasn't a complete idiot. And I had respect about me, which respect, as we know today, is a dying art. Anyway, he had a little 84 GMC Sonoma. It had a diesel engine in it. This is also back when I didn't like diesels. I didn't appreciate them. But he said, "Man, you need to buy this little S10 from me, or Sonoma." And I ended up buying it from him for like $1,500. He let me make payments on it. He was real cool about it. It was a 2.2 Isuzu diesel, and it had a 4-speed in it. And top speed, I kid you not, top speed was 54 miles an hour. This thing had a whopping 49 horsepower, and it didn't have enough power to pull the hat off your head. Nah. I was like, whatever. But it did get 45 miles a gallon. Riddle me that. That's the main reason I bought it. I used to live 20 miles out of town. You're commuting 44 miles a day to and from work. So I bought it from him. I said, it'll help me on fuel, this, and this. And I never had any intentions whatsoever. I never had the first intention of doing anything to it other than putting fuel in it and driving it. And if it needed something, I bought it. A friend of mine was going through some issues. I don't remember exactly what it was he was going through, but I don't know. I helped him out, and I'll get you in a minute. But he was just down on his luck, and I helped him out, and he ended up giving me a whole bunch of S10 parts that he wasn't going to use. His truck that he had them all on, the truck burnt at 2.5, chucked a rod out of the block, got all on the manifold, and it burned it. So he ended up just giving me that stuff as, I guess, a thank you. I told him, I said, I don't need it. You can get it back whenever. And this is also back when I used to drink a lot. So one night, sitting there, had about 2, 6, 8, I don't know, bunch. And an idea just come to me. I said, you know what? That'd be pretty cool. So the parts that I got was a set of old center lines. I think they were 6s up front, 15 by 6s, and then 15 by 10s in the back. Old solid center lines that had the bolts in it. A full Phantom grill, an actual legit T-Rex grill, like the high dollar $300 grill. Some clear lights all around it. And I wouldn't say there was a few other things, but that was the main gist. And I had an idea just come to me, and I was like, man, that would be cool. So I started on it. My brother-in-law found a brand new AMD 2-inch cow hood in Paducah for like $100. Guy got rid of his truck and he was wholesaling everything. So I got a brand new hood for $100. Still in the box. I found a bed in the backwoods of Murray, Kentucky. Like, I didn't realize Murray had backwoods. We were out there. And found a just mint bed. Got it for $100. And I just started on it. I started sanding on it and just piece at a time. And I drove it. I drove it without a bed for a long time because that other bed was just done. I ended up making an exhaust for it, and it would come up and it dumped. It went over the frame and dumped right in front of the rear tire. And I don't know, it was a truck that was never meant to be for me. But I ended up powder coating the wheels. I knocked all the bolts out of it because they weren't really bolts, they were just like rivets. I threaded every hole, powder coated the wheels black, and put stainless steel bolts in it, chrome center caps, chrome lug nuts, the 2-inch cow hood, the Phantom grill. Drove it for a long time like that, and I painted it satin black. That's kind of my thing. And then later on, my buddy Cody, who owns Piston Broke, kind of put a bug in my ear. He's real good about that. I call him the shenanigator sometimes because he really, really instigates shenanigans with me. He knows what to do. And I put stacks on it. He got me into putting stacks on it. That was when it really got fun because it would roll cold. It was funny. I messed with a lot of people. They were, at the fuel pump. They were like, hey, you're putting diesel in your S10. I'm like, oh, no, I messed my truck up. And I'm like, no, man, I'm just messing with you. It's a diesel. Almost won a bet one time because the guy said, there ain't no diesel in that thing. I said, put $100 on it. He wouldn't do it. But it was a truck that was never meant to be for me. I ended up hitting a deer with it, and that changed it up again. I went to a 4-inch cow hood that time, and changed the grill up. I wasn't going to spend the money on a T-Rex grill, but eBay special, and I just drove it. I drove the wheels off that thing for years, and then the oil pressure started really, really worrying me. Of course, that thing my old buddy that passed away, that I named my son after, he used to call it the little coffee grinder, and it would sit there and shake and rattle and do everything but go. So when the oil pressure started fluttering, it really worried me. I ended up V8 swapping that thing on like a super tight budget. I just bought the mounts and I bought the headers, but the engine actually came out of the white truck. um, that I've been doing the DJM lowering kit on. Ended up putting it in there, and I drove it for another 2 or 3 years. And then we found out my boy was coming, and I was like, well, I can't fit a wife and 2 kids in a S10, so that's actually how I got the Blazer. I traded the S10 for the Blazer, and it was what you needed to do at the time. But I always missed that truck. I've had opportunity to get it back, but I can't really justify giving him what he's asking. But anyway, this may not be the OG Smokey, but this is Smokey 2.0. So what do we have planned? Lots of good stuff. I'm actually kind of hoping that it's going to be something that my oldest boy and I can kind of work on together and just kind of, I don't know, do bonding, I guess. Kids, sometimes you have a hard time reaching them, and trying to show him that if he knows how to use these, he can take what's up here and make it happen. It's kind of funny because yesterday would have been my dad's 53rd birthday. So for me to kind of go get this for me and him to work on together, I don't know, kind of poetic, I guess. But I ended up trading the Honda for it, trading even for it. She needs a little work, but nothing too crazy. It does have a spot right here in the bed. That was a bummer. You got some rocker problems, but I mean, S10s are cheap unless Street Racing Channel keeps driving the price of them up. Nothing, not hating by any means. He knows why they're valuable, and so does everybody else. But I think we're gonna kind of imitate what I had. It's a 2.55 speed. It got up on coming back from Union City, Tennessee, at 65, 70 mile an hour. I didn't like doing 70, but because it sounds like that little engine is just wound tight. But we're just going to have fun with it. Me and him, hopefully. We're going to put rockers in it and put cab corners in it. I'm either going to try to fix that bed, or if I can find like a smoking deal on another bed, I will put another bed on it. It's been lowered, 2.2, 2-inch block, 2-inch spindles. I am probably gonna go a hair lower. I love a 3/4 drop on S10s. We're gonna clean up the interior a little bit. If you can see right there, the seat's kind of wore out, so I'm gonna try to find another seat. Do a steering wheel, the simple things, and I'm gonna try to do something different with the dash pad. Take it off and maybe try to make something to go over it to do better, to look better, other than busted up nonsense. Definitely gonna do a 4-inch cowl hood again. I don't know on the grill just yet. I have the original. I have the original grill and shell out of Smokey, and that would kind of be cool to have. But at the same time, I might just hold on to it and hang it up or something. And I may, since it's actually a GMC, I may put a GMC grill in it. I don't know, with a billet insert, or I may do a full Phantom again. Definitely gonna put welds on it. I've had a set of welds 5 times, and I've never got to put them on Smokey or the other S10s that I owned. I never have I've always had one or the other, and then the couple times I had them together, the truck wasn't running. I never got to I just never got to put them together. The last one I owned was the actual blue truck that my buddy had that burnt. It changed hands a couple times, and I actually ended up with that truck. It was a great truck. I just didn't get a chance to put it together because the harness was still burnt and everything, but we're gonna do it this time. We're gonna do it. We're gonna put welds on it, probably 15 by 4s and 15 by 10s in the back. It'll look fast sitting still, look like it's ready to deliver the express mail, but I'm not touching that engine. I'm not touching that engine. I'm probably gonna touch the engine eventually. The goal is to just kind of drive it, have fun. Look fast sitting still. If it doesn't look fast sitting still, it doesn't do nothing for me. We'll just drive it and enjoy it. That's one of the things with Smokey. I mean, it was a turd, literally. Like it wouldn't get out of its own way. But I had the most fun with that truck ever. And it was, like I said, it was a turd. But we're gonna mess around with this. Maybe get, Brady and my wife out there to teach them how to drive a 5-speed. I got to put a clutch master cylinder in it. First thing. Kept noticing this fluid on my boot as we was coming home. Found out that it is the clutch master cylinder's leaking. No big deal. But down the road, we might do something crazy. It may get a V8. It may not. It may get a diesel engine. I kind of like that idea. I would like to put a 4BT in it. That'd be cool. It's a lot of work, but whatever. Yeah, so Smokey's back. Have fun with it. That's all we can do, right? Gotta have fun while you're on the earth. Other than that, what are you doing?